You are here now, and that is enough. Your body has found a place to rest, and the day has loosened its grip. Around you, the world dims, not suddenly, but patiently, as if it understands that brightness is something the mind must release gently. You do not need to do anything. The night does the work for you. Your eyes may be open or closed. Either way, your brain begins to notice the absence of urgency. The signals that once demanded attention, movement, light, sound arrive more softly now. This is not weakness. This is preparation. Your brain is an organ of patterns, and it recognizes this one well. Darkness is a familiar invitation. Inside your head, billions of neurons are still awake, still alive with quiet electricity. They do not stop working when you rest. Instead, they change their rhythm. During the day, they fire quickly, like a crowded room full of conversation. At night, that room empties. Voices lower. Pauses grow longer. The brain does not power down. It slows its tempo. This slowing has a name, though you do not need to remember it. Scientists call it a shift in brain waves, a movement from fast, alert patterns towards slower, wider rhythms. You can imagine these rhythms like waves on a lake. During the day, the surface is choppy, restless with wind. Now, the wind settles. The water smooths. The waves stretch out, longer and calmer, carrying less urgency in each rise and fall. Thoughts still appear, but they arrive differently. They no longer insist on being solved. They drift through awareness like clouds passing a moon. Your mind notices them, then lets them go, not because you force it to, but because the brain itself is changing how tightly it holds on. This is one of the quiet truths of sleep. You do not fall asleep by trying. Sleep arrives when effort dissolves. Your brain understands this instinctively. It begins releasing chemicals that soften attention and loosen the grip of wakefulness. These molecules are tiny, invisible, and powerful. They move through your nervous system like whispers, telling your body that it is safe to let go. Your muscles receive the message first. The tension they carried throughout the day begins to drain away, as if gravity has become more forgiving. Your jaw loosens. Your shoulders sink. Even your hands rest more heavily, no longer prepared to grasp or react. The brain is coordinating this release, turning down the volume on signals meant for action. Awareness changes shape. It does not disappear. Instead, it becomes wider and less focused. During the day, awareness is like a narrow beam of light, aimed at tasks and decisions. Now it spreads, soft and unfocused, like lamplight filling a room. Nothing needs to be examined closely. Everything is allowed to exist without interpretation. Your sense of time begins to blur. Seconds stretch or dissolve entirely. The brain regions that track schedules and sequences grow quieter. There is no need to know what comes next. The night is not asking you to plan. It is asking you to feel. Even memory shifts its posture. During waking hours, memory is sharp, constantly retrieving facts, names, and responsibilities. Now, it relaxes. Memories loosen their edges. They no longer demand accuracy. They become impressions instead of records, sensations instead of stories. This is not loss. It is organization. Your brain is preparing to sort the day, to decide what to keep and what to release. But that work comes later. For now, it simply creates space. Space is essential for rest. Space is where silence grows. Your breathing deepens without instruction. The brainstem, an ancient part of your nervous system, takes over the rhythm. It has been guiding breath since before you were conscious of it. You do not need to help. Each inhale arrives smoothly. Each exhale lingers a moment longer, like a quiet sigh. With every breath, the balance inside your body shifts slightly. Oxygen enters. Carbon dioxide leaves. Blood chemistry changes in subtle ways that signal calm. These changes travel upward, informing the brain that the body is steady, that nothing requires immediate response. Safety is communicated not through words, but through chemistry. The mind listens. Thoughts slow further. Gaps appear between them. In those gaps, there is no emptiness, only rest. A soft awareness remains, like the feeling of floating just beneath the surface of water. You are still present, still here, but no longer anchored to effort. You may notice brief images or fragments of thought, colors, places, half-formed ideas. This is the beginning of transition. The brain is loosening the boundaries between memory, imagination, and perception. It is not dreaming yet, but it is practicing. There is kindness in this process. The brain does not demand sudden silence. It dims gradually, the way evening arrives without announcing itself. Each moment grows slightly quieter than the last. Each thought arrives with less weight. You are not losing control. You are being carried by a system designed for this exact moment. Long before you learned language, long before you learned worry, your nervous system evolved to recognize night as a time for restoration. This wisdom lives beneath thought. It does not require belief. As the world outside grows still, the world inside mirrors it. The mind begins to trust the dark. Awareness turns inward, not searching, just noticing. Sensations blur at the edges. The boundary between body and bed softens. You are approaching the threshold, not asleep, not awake, but somewhere gentle between. The brain hovers here briefly, adjusting, preparing for the deeper shifts to come. Breath continues. Heartbeat remains steady. Everything essential is already happening. And as your awareness drifts, something simple becomes clear: the night is not empty. It is full of quiet processes unfolding beneath your attention. Soon, even breath itself will feel like a rhythm you are listening to rather than creating. And as you follow that rhythm, barely noticing it now, you begin to sense that the next journey does not happen in the mind alone, but in the gentle chemistry carried by every breath you take. You are breathing, even when you are not paying attention to it. This is the quiet miracle that carries you through the night. Breath does not wait for permission. It arrives, leads, and returns again, steady and loyal, like waves meeting a familiar shore. As your body settles further into rest, breathing changes its character. It slows, deepens, and softens, guided by ancient circuits in the brain that learned this rhythm long before language. You do not command this process. You are included in it. Each inhale draws air inward, filling the small branching passages of your lungs. These passages end in tiny air sacs, delicate and numerous, like clusters of grapes. Their walls are thin, almost fragile, designed not for strength, but for exchange. Here, oxygen passes quietly into your blood, slipping across membranes with no sound at all. Oxygen is not dramatic. It does not announce itself. Yet it is essential. It binds gently to red blood cells, which carry it through your body like patient messengers. Every cell you have is waiting, not urgently, but expectantly. Oxygen is the guest that allows them to continue their quiet work. At the same time, something else is leaving. Carbon dioxide, a molecule made as cells release energy, drifts out of the blood and into the lungs. It is exhaled without ceremony. This exchange happens thousands of times each minute, balanced and precise, even while you sleep. Carbon dioxide is often misunderstood. It is not simply waste. It plays a role in guiding breath itself. As its levels rise slightly in your blood, sensors in your nervous system notice. They do not panic. They respond by gently encouraging the next inhale. Breath is regulated not by oxygen hunger, but by this subtle chemistry of balance. As you rest, carbon dioxide levels shift in a way that promotes calm. The rhythm of breathing becomes slower, smoother. Each exhale lasts a little longer than the inhale, signaling the nervous system that it can relax its guard. This pattern tells the body that nothing is chasing you, that there is no need to prepare for sudden movement. The brain listens closely to this chemical conversation. With every slow breath, messages travel upward, influencing regions responsible for alertness and emotion. Stress-related signals begin to fade. Muscles receive fewer instructions to remain tense. The body chooses efficiency over readiness. Breathing becomes less about effort and more about flow. You may notice that pauses appear naturally at the end of an exhale. These pauses are not emptiness. They are moments of perfect balance, when the body is neither inhaling nor exhaling, simply resting between tides. This rhythm has a calming effect on the heart as well. The space between heartbeats grows slightly longer during exhalation. This is not coincidence. It is coordination. The heart and lungs communicate constantly, adjusting to one another in a gentle dance. As breath slows, the heart follows. Blood pressure eases. Circulation becomes smooth and unhurried. Warmth spreads subtly through the body, carried by vessels no longer tightened by stress hormones. You may feel heavier, more grounded, as if gravity has increased just enough to hold you comfortably in place. Breath also shapes the mind. As respiration slows, brain activity follows. Faster, alert patterns give way to slower rhythms that support relaxation and the early stages of sleep. This shift does not require silence. Thoughts may still appear, but they feel distant, less personal, like echoes rather than commands. You are not focusing on breath now. You are allowing it. There is a difference. Focus requires effort. Allowing requires trust. Your body understands how to breathe in a way that supports rest. It has practiced this since your earliest nights. With every inhale, oxygen reaches the brain, fueling neurons that are gradually changing their pace. With every exhale, carbon dioxide leaves, reinforcing the signal that the body is safe. This cycle repeats, steady and reassuring, like a lullaby written in molecules instead of sound. You may notice sensations associated with breathing, the rise of the chest, the gentle movement of the abdomen, the faint coolness of air at the nostrils. These sensations are anchors, not demands. They keep awareness present without keeping it awake. The science of breath is not separate from comfort. It is comfort, translated into chemistry. The nervous system is designed to respond to slow breathing with relaxation. This is not learned behavior. It is built in, refined over millions of years. As minutes pass, breathing grows quieter still. The sound of air moving becomes barely noticeable. The muscles involved in respiration work efficiently, with minimal effort. Even the awareness of breathing begins to soften, fading toward the background. This is where the body prefers it. Breath continues, but you do not need to follow it. The rhythm holds itself. Each cycle carries you a little deeper into rest, a little farther from the sharp edges of waking thought. Inside the brain, this steady breathing supports the transition toward deeper sleep stages. Chemical messengers associated with calm increase. Those associated with vigilance decrease. The mind feels less compelled to monitor the world. You are being guided, not pushed. Breath does not hurry you. It waits patiently for the body to be ready. There is no finish line to cross, no moment to achieve. There is only continuation. As awareness loosens further, you may feel as if breathing is happening somewhere else, as if it belongs to the night rather than to you. This sense of distance is natural. It signals that attention is turning inward, preparing for the deeper reorganization that sleep brings. Soon, breathing will support processes that do not involve conscious thought at all. It will continue to supply oxygen as the brain begins to change its internal patterns more fully, shifting toward rhythms that clean, restore, and reorganize. For now, breath remains your quiet companion, steady and reliable. You drift with it, not needing to understand every exchange taking place beneath awareness. And as breathing carries you gently forward, you begin to sense that the next transformation is already starting, not in the lungs, but in the brain itself, where neurons are preparing to fold the day away. Your brain remains awake, even now. It has not abandoned you to the dark. Instead, it has changed its posture, turning inward, gathering the scattered moments of the day with careful attention. This is not an ending. It is a rearranging. During waking hours, your brain moves quickly. Signals travel in fast, sharp patterns, designed for decision and response. But as night deepens, these patterns begin to soften. The electrical activity inside your head slows its pace, like footsteps easing as a long walk finally comes to an end. Scientists describe these changes as shifts in brain waves, but you do not need the names. You can feel them. Thoughts stretch out. Pauses appear. Awareness no longer jumps from one idea to the next. Instead, it drifts, lingering gently before moving on. Neurons still communicate, but they do so with less urgency. The rapid chatter that once filled your mind gives way to slower exchanges, more spacious and forgiving. It is as if the brain has lowered its voice, choosing calm over clarity. This slowing is intentional. It allows the brain to begin a different kind of work. During the day, your mind collects experiences, sights, sounds, emotions, fragments of conversation. At night, it begins to sort them. Not everything is kept. Not everything is needed. The brain knows this. memories are not stored as complete stories. They are patterns of connection, pathways strengthened by repetition and meaning. As you rest, these pathways are reviewed quietly. Important ones are reinforced. Others are allowed to fade. This process does not require your involvement. It happens beneath awareness, efficient and kind. You may notice memories appearing briefly, without invitation. A face, a place, a moment from earlier in the day. They arrive without emotion, then drift away. This is the brain deciding what matters, what fits, what can be released. As this happens, the boundary between thinking and dreaming grows thinner. Images may appear without explanation. They do not need to make sense. Meaning is no longer the goal. Integration is. The brain's deeper regions become more active now. These areas regulate emotion, memory, and rhythm. They work slowly, patiently, unconcerned with schedules. They operate on cycles measured in hours, not seconds. At the same time, the parts of the brain responsible for planning and judgment grow quieter. The internal narrator that comments on everything begins to lose interest. It has done its job for the day. Silence is not forced upon it. It simply steps back. This is why problems feel less urgent at night. The brain is shifting priorities. Survival no longer depends on immediate action. Restoration becomes more important than analysis. Your sense of self softens. During the day, identity feels solid, defined by roles and responsibilities. At night, it loosens. You are less a person doing things and more a body being supported. This change is subtle, but it is real. Brain chemistry follows this shift. Substances that promote alertness decrease. Others, associated with calm and stability, increase. These changes alter how neurons respond to stimulation. It becomes harder for sharp thoughts to take hold. Sound may still reach your ears, but it feels distant. Light behind closed eyelids loses its shape. Sensory information is no longer prioritized. The brain is protecting the transition, reducing interruptions. This is the threshold between waking and deeper sleep. The brain does not cross it abruptly. It pauses here, adjusting, ensuring balance. If something important occurs, it can return you to alertness. If not, it continues forward. You may feel as though you are floating or gently falling inward. This sensation is created by changes in how the brain integrates information from the body. Muscles relax further. Signals from joints and skin grow quieter. The brain interprets this reduction as weightlessness. Time becomes unreliable. Moments stretch or collapse. This is because the brain areas that track duration are slowing. Without constant reference points, time loses structure. This is not confusion. It is freedom from measurement. The brain begins to produce brief bursts of rhythmic activity, gentle pulses that move across neural networks. These rhythms help synchronize distant regions, allowing information to be shared efficiently. They are the brain's way of coordinating the transition. Nothing about this process is rushed. Evolution refined it over countless nights. Each stage exists because it serves a purpose. Sleep is not passive. It is active restoration, guided by intricate biological timing. As you drift further, thoughts become simpler. Language fades first. Concepts dissolve into sensations. Awareness becomes more like a feeling than an idea. You may notice the edges of sleep approaching, but you do not need to follow them. The brain will take you there on its own. Trying to observe the process too closely can bring wakefulness back. So the mind learns to look gently, without effort. This is why sleep often arrives when you stop watching for it. The brain prefers quiet permission over attention. Inside, neurons continue their slow dialogue. Connections strengthen and weaken, adjusting to the shape of your life. Emotional experiences are softened. Stressful moments are revisited without their original intensity. The brain is learning how to carry them with less weight. As deeper sleep approaches, awareness narrows further. The world outside fades almost completely. The inner landscape becomes dominant, though still undefined. Soon, the brain will move into stages where conscious awareness disappears entirely. But before that happens, there is this gentle space, calm, dim, and forgiving, where thought loosens and rest feels inevitable. You hover here briefly, suspended between intention and surrender. The brain has folded most of the day away now, leaving only a quiet residue of presence. And as that presence thins, something else begins to take over, a slower, deeper rhythm that belongs not to thought, but to time itself, waiting patiently inside the body. Time continues to move outside you. Clocks still count. Screens still glow somewhere in the distance. But inside your body, time has begun to change its shape. It is no longer sharp or linear. It softens, stretching gently, like fabric warmed by steady hands. Your body does not experience time the way machines do. It measures time through rhythm, through repetition, through cycles that repeat not because they must, but because they work. Night is one of those cycles, and your body recognizes it deeply. At the center of this recognition is an internal clock, not visible, but precise. Scientists call it the circadian rhythm, but you can think of it as a quiet conductor, guiding the tempo of your biology. It does not use numbers. It uses light, darkness, temperature, and habit. As night settles, this internal clock shifts its signals. Hormones change their timing. Body temperature begins to drop, just slightly, creating the conditions your brain prefers for sleep. This cooling is subtle, but important. It tells the nervous system that the active phase of the day has ended. Your heart responds as well. Each beat arrives with less urgency. The space between beats grows, not dramatically, but enough to be felt if you listen closely. This slowing is not weakness. It is efficiency. A heart at rest works with grace. Blood moves through your body in smooth, unhurried loops. Vessels relax, widening just enough to reduce resistance. The sensation is one of quiet heaviness, as if your body has settled more fully into itself. Inside the brain, time perception begins to loosen. The regions responsible for tracking sequences and durations grow quieter. Without their constant input, moments stop lining up neatly. One thought does not lead predictably to the next. Instead, awareness drifts. This drifting is natural. The brain is designed to release strict timekeeping at night. During the day, precise timing supports action and coordination. At night, it becomes unnecessary. Letting go of time frees mental space for restoration. Your internal clock is not reacting only to darkness. It is responding to consistency. The repeated pattern of night following day has shaped human biology for thousands of generations. Long before artificial light, the body learned to trust the sky. Even now, that trust remains. When light fades, the brain increases the production of substances that encourage rest. When morning comes, those substances retreat. This cycle continues whether you pay attention or not. As you lie still, this ancient timing system works quietly beneath awareness. You do not need to align with it consciously. You already are aligned. Every cell in your body carries its own miniature clock, synchronized loosely with the whole. These cellular clocks slow their activity now. Processes related to growth, repair, and energy conservation take priority. Tasks that require speed or precision are postponed. The body knows there is time later. Time feels different because the brain is no longer measuring it against goals. Without deadlines, moments lose their edges. They blend into one another, smooth and continuous. You may notice that worries tied to the future feel distant now. Planning requires a strong sense of time, and that sense is fading. This is why night can feel comforting. The future loosens its hold. Even the past softens. Without constant reference to before and after, memories lose their sharp sequence. They become impressions instead of timelines. Your breathing continues its steady rhythm, marking time in a way clocks cannot. Inhale. Exhale. Each cycle is complete in itself. There is no rush to reach the next one. This rhythm is echoed throughout the body. Digestion slows. Muscles remain relaxed. Energy use becomes economical. The body chooses sustainability over speed. Sleep is not simply the absence of wakefulness. It is a different relationship with time. During deep sleep, hours can pass without awareness. The brain temporarily releases the need to track duration. This release is restorative. Measuring time requires mental resources. Letting go conserves them. The mind rests not only from thinking, but from counting. You are not falling behind. Nothing is being missed. The night does not measure your productivity. It measures balance. As awareness fades further, you may feel suspended, as if time has paused just for you. This sensation arises when internal rhythms synchronize, when competing signals quiet down. Your body temperature continues its gentle descent. This change supports deeper sleep stages. The brain interprets the cooler environment as permission to disengage from the outside world. Even your sense of location may blur. The boundary between body and space softens. This is another effect of relaxed time perception. Without urgency, the brain does not need precise maps. Everything essential continues without your supervision. The heart beats. The lungs breathe. Cells communicate. Time passes, but it no longer demands attention. This is the gift of night. It allows the body to experience time as something generous rather than scarce. Soon, another sensation will become more noticeable: weight. The way the body feels held by the surface beneath it. Gravity, constant and patient, waiting without effort. As time continues to soften inside you, awareness begins to settle into that feeling of being supported, ready to explore how the earth itself participates in your rest. You are being held right now, even if you are not thinking about it. The surface beneath you offers support without effort, without expectation. Gravity does the rest. It presses gently, constantly, a quiet force that has been with you since the moment you were born. Gravity does not change its mind. It does not rush or pause. It simply exists, steady and reliable, pulling every part of you toward the earth with the same calm insistence. Your body understands this force intimately. Every bone, every muscle, every cell has grown in conversation with it. During the day, you rarely notice gravity. Muscles counteract it. Posture manages it. Movement negotiates with it constantly. But at night, when effort fades, gravity becomes something else entirely. It becomes comfort. As you rest, muscles release their resistance. They no longer need to hold you upright. The weight of your body spreads evenly, sinking into stillness. This spreading is important. It signals to the nervous system that balance has been found. Your brain receives information from pressure receptors throughout your skin and muscles. These receptors notice contact, firmness, support. When pressure is steady and predictable, the brain interprets it as safety. This is why being held feels calming. This is why resting deeply feels grounding. Gravity provides that steady pressure everywhere, all at once. It does not squeeze. It does not startle. It simply reminds your body that it belongs here, on this planet, at this moment. Weight is not heaviness in the negative sense. It is presence. It is the feeling that you are fully arrived. When your body settles into its weight, it stops preparing to move. Preparation dissolves into rest. Your breathing adjusts subtly as your chest and abdomen relax into the pull of gravity. The diaphragm moves smoothly, unchallenged by tension. Each breath feels more complete, more supported. Even the heart responds. As the body lies still, gravity assists blood flow back toward the heart. Circulation becomes efficient, unstrained. The heart works with less effort, trusting the environment to do its part. Gravity also shapes your sense of space. When upright, the brain constantly calculates balance, orientation, and movement. When lying down, those calculations simplify. The brain no longer needs to work to keep you upright. Mental effort decreases. This is why lying down can feel like relief, not just physically, but mentally. The brain is released from a continuous background task. One less thing to manage. One more layer of calm. The force holding you is ancient. Long before there were bodies like yours, gravity-shaped stars, planets, and the dust that would one day become Earth. Your body is made of that same matter, organized differently, but governed by the same pull. This connection is not symbolic. It is literal. Every atom in you responds to gravity in the same way the Earth does. Resting is not an escape from physics. It is participation in it. As your body sinks further into stillness, you may feel a gentle sense of heaviness spreading through your limbs. Arms feel warmer, denser. Legs feel anchored. This sensation tells the brain that movement is unnecessary. Muscle tone decreases. the nervous system reduces signals that keep muscles alert. This process is gradual, careful, designed to avoid sudden loss of control. The body trusts gravity to maintain stability. This trust allows deeper relaxation. The brain no longer expects sudden demands for balance or action. Vigilance fades. Awareness turns inward. There is no danger in this heaviness. It is not collapse. It is surrender. The kind that restores rather than depletes. You may notice the points where your body meets the surface beneath you: shoulders, hips, back, heels. These points carry more weight, but they do so comfortably. Pressure spreads outward, not inward. Nothing presses sharply. Everything supports gently. The brain interprets this even pressure as reassurance. It lowers stress responses further. Hormones associated with alertness retreat. Those associated with calm take their place. Gravity also influences fluids in the body. As you lie still, fluid distribution stabilizes. Swelling decreases. Sensations even out. The body becomes internally quieter. Your sense of effort dissolves. You are no longer holding yourself together. You are being held. This experience echoes something deeply familiar. As infants, before understanding the world, we learn safety through being supported. That memory remains in the nervous system, not as a thought, but as a pattern. Gravity recreates that pattern every night. There is nothing you need to do to earn this support. Gravity does not judge your day. It does not evaluate your choices. It offers the same steady pull regardless of who you are or what you have done. This neutrality is soothing. It removes comparison, expectation, and urgency. You are allowed to exist without performance. As awareness softens, the boundary between your body and the earth feels less distinct. Not because you disappear, but because resistance fades. You and the surface beneath you share the same stillness. The brain welcomes this sensation. It signals that the environment is stable enough to allow deeper sleep stages. Safety is a prerequisite for rest, and gravity provides it continuously. Thoughts slow further. They feel heavier too, less likely to drift upward into worry. They settle and dissolve. You are not sinking downward. You are sinking inward, into a place where effort is unnecessary and support is guaranteed. Soon, another realization will begin to emerge. Even in stillness, nothing is truly motionless. Beneath the calm, tiny movements continue, governed by laws just as gentle. As gravity holds you securely, awareness becomes ready to explore how rest and motion coexist, how stillness itself has a quiet physics all its own. You are very still now. Your body rests, supported and quiet, no longer asking to move. And yet, beneath this stillness, life continues in countless subtle ways. Nothing inside you has truly stopped. It has only found balance. Stillness is often misunderstood. It is not the absence of motion, but the absence of struggle. In physics, rest does not mean nothing is happening. It means forces are balanced. Push and pull meet each other gently, canceling urgency, leaving calm behind. Your body understands this naturally. As you lie here, gravity presses downward, and the surface beneath you presses back with equal care. These forces meet, perfectly matched. You are held in equilibrium. This balance creates the feeling of peace. Inside you, energy continues to move. Atoms vibrate softly, never fully still. They do not need to be commanded. Their motion is built into their nature, guided by temperature and structure. Even now, warmth causes tiny movements everywhere, like quiet shivers too small to feel. This gentle motion is not chaos. It is orderly, predictable, calm. The atoms in your body are not racing. They sway, like leaves moving slightly in still air. This is the physics of rest, motion without urgency. Energy in your body shifts form rather than disappearing. During the day, energy fuels movement, thought, and reaction. At night, it redistributes. Less is spent on action. More is saved, stored, and used for repair. Your muscles, no longer contracting for posture or movement, consume far less energy. This conservation allows resources to be directed elsewhere. Cells take advantage of this quiet time, performing maintenance that would be inefficient during activity. Even your brain, though still active, uses energy differently now. Fast signaling gives way to slower patterns that require less fuel. The brain becomes economical, careful with its resources, choosing sustainability over speed. This efficiency feels like stillness from the inside. Awareness drifts because there is less energetic demand pulling it outward. Nothing needs immediate attention. The body has entered a state of balance. Breathing continues, steady and smooth. With each breath, energy enters in the form of oxygen. With each exhale, byproducts leave. This exchange supports the quiet motion inside your cells, keeping everything stable. The heart beats gently, sending waves of pressure through the bloodstream. These waves are rhythmic, predictable, unhurried. They do not disturb the calm. They sustain it. In physics, systems seek their lowest energy state when left undisturbed. This is not laziness. It is efficiency. Your body is doing the same. It is settling into a state that requires the least effort to maintain. This settling is not passive. It is intelligent. The body constantly measures and adjusts, keeping temperature, chemistry, and pressure within narrow ranges. These adjustments are small and continuous, like minute corrections made by an experienced pilot. You do not feel these corrections. They are too subtle. But their combined effect is profound. They create the sense that everything is okay, that nothing needs fixing right now. Stillness also affects perception. When movement decreases, the brain receives fewer signals from muscles and joints. This reduction quiets the sense of physical boundaries. The body feels larger or softer, sometimes almost distant. This sensation can feel like floating. It is not a loss of control, but a change in information flow. With fewer signals demanding attention, awareness becomes diffuse. You hover here, between motion and sleep, between effort and surrender. The brain is comfortable in this in-between space. It uses it to transition smoothly, without shock. Even sound changes quality in stillness. Without internal noise from movement, external sounds feel muted, less intrusive. The brain deprioritizes them, choosing inner balance over outer awareness. Light, too, loses its influence. With eyes closed and body still, visual processing slows. The brain no longer constructs detailed images of the world. Darkness becomes neutral, even comforting. The physics of stillness supports this sensory quiet. With less movement, there is less stimulation. With less stimulation, the brain can rest more deeply. This does not mean vulnerability. The nervous system remains alert enough to respond if needed. But it no longer scans constantly. It trusts the environment. Trust is essential for rest. Stillness provides evidence that nothing is wrong. The body interprets lack of disturbance as safety. Energy continues to circulate quietly. Heat dissipates evenly. Chemical reactions proceed at steady rates. Nothing spikes. Nothing crashes. This balance allows the body to shift into deeper sleep stages when the time is right. The groundwork is being laid now, in this calm equilibrium. You may feel that your thoughts have slowed almost to a stop. When they do appear, they are simple, fragmentary, without narrative. This is another sign of balanced energy. Complex thinking requires effort. Simplicity requires far less. The brain prefers simplicity at night. It reduces complexity deliberately, conserving resources for restoration. You are not empty. You are full of quiet processes, all aligned, all cooperating. This is not inactivity. It is harmony. Stillness is the body agreeing with itself. Muscles agree with gravity. Breath agrees with chemistry. Heart agrees with rhythm. Brain agrees with time. As this agreement deepens, awareness loosens further. You may feel as though you are fading, but nothing essential is being lost. Consciousness is simply changing form. Soon, attention will turn even farther inward, toward processes so small and numerous they feel like a different world entirely. Trillions of cells will take advantage of this stillness, speaking softly in the dark. And as you hover here, balanced and supported, you begin to sense that the next story unfolding is not about the whole body at once, but about the quiet, tireless language of cells working while you rest. As you remain still, something vast and intricate awakens beneath awareness. Your body becomes a nighttime landscape of quiet activity, where trillions of cells continue their work without sound, without recognition, without pause. You do not need to guide them. They have always known what to do. Each cell is alive in its own small way. It takes in resources, releases waste, responds to signals, and adapts to change. During the day, many of these processes compete with movement, thought, and attention. At night, the competition fades. Cells are given space. They begin to speak more clearly to one another. Not with words, but with chemistry. Tiny molecules drift from cell to cell, carrying messages about repair, balance, and timing. These messages are precise, yet gentle, like handwritten notes passed quietly in the dark. Some cells focus on maintenance. They inspect internal structures, replacing worn components, correcting small errors that accumulated during the day. Proteins are folded carefully into shape. Damaged parts are broken down and recycled. Nothing is wasted. Other cells concentrate on growth. They strengthen connections, reinforce tissues, and prepare for future demands. This growth is not dramatic. It happens incrementally, quietly, guided by signals that say now is the right time. Your immune cells are especially active. During waking hours, they patrol cautiously, sharing attention with many other priorities. At night, they move with greater freedom. They scan for irregularities, clear debris, and reset their readiness. This vigilance does not disturb your rest. It depends on it. Even your skin participates. Cells near the surface divide and replace themselves more efficiently while you sleep. This renewal is slow but constant, maintaining a boundary that protects you every day without asking for thanks. Deep inside, your organs adjust their rhythms. The liver processes stored nutrients. The kidneys regulate fluids with fine precision. The digestive system slows, redirecting energy toward repair rather than breakdown. Your muscles, though relaxed, are not idle. Microscopic damage caused by daily use is addressed. Fibers are strengthened. Supportive tissues are reinforced. This is how rest becomes resilience. The brain, too, relies on cellular work. Specialized cells clear metabolic byproducts that build up during waking thought. This cleaning process supports clarity and stability, preparing the brain for another day of activity. All of this coordination requires timing. Cells rely on internal clocks to decide when to act. These clocks are synchronized loosely, influenced by hormones, temperature, and darkness. At night, their signals align more closely. This alignment creates efficiency. Tasks that would interfere with one another during the day are sequenced calmly. Repair happens when movement stops. Growth happens when energy is available. The body avoids conflict by choosing the right moment. You are not aware of these decisions. Awareness would only complicate them. The body prefers silence for this work. There is no central commander issuing instructions. Instead, intelligence is distributed. Each cell responds to local conditions, adjusting based on immediate surroundings. Order emerges naturally from cooperation. This decentralized intelligence is one of biology's quiet wonders. It allows the body to adapt continuously without conscious control. Night amplifies this process by reducing noise. Hormones released during sleep support cellular communication. They encourage repair, regulate growth, and stabilize systems. Their presence is felt not as sensation, but as ease. You may feel heavier, warmer, or deeper inside yourself. These sensations are reflections of internal focus. Energy has turned inward, toward preservation and renewal. Cells do not rush. They work at speeds determined by chemistry, not by urgency. Reactions proceed at rates that balance accuracy and efficiency. Errors are corrected patiently. This patience is why sleep matters. Without it, cellular processes become strained. With it, they regain balance. As minutes pass, coordination deepens. Systems synchronize. The body becomes quieter, more unified. Individual cells still perform distinct tasks, but their rhythms align. This alignment feels like calm from the inside. Not excitement. Not pleasure. Stability. You are not separate from this activity. You are its environment. Your stillness allows it to unfold fully. The mind may drift away from bodily awareness entirely. This is fine. The body does not need observation to function. In fact, it functions best without it. Some cells finish their tasks quickly. Others continue for hours. Night provides a long window, free from interruption. As sleep deepens, cellular communication remains active, though consciousness fades. Messages continue to pass. Repairs continue to be made. Eventually, this internal work will influence your dreams, your memory, your mood. But for now, it remains hidden, efficient, complete. Your body has become a quiet universe, governed by laws of cooperation and balance. Trillions of lives working together, unnoticed, to sustain one. As awareness thins further, another process begins to rise gently to the surface, the reshaping of memory and meaning, where experience softens and dreams begin to form. And as the cells continue their whispering work in the dark, your mind prepares to drift into the subtle realm where memories loosen and stories rearrange themselves in sleep. Your mind is quieter now, but it is not empty. Beneath the surface of rest, something delicate begins to move. Memory, which felt solid during the day, loosens its grip and becomes fluid. It does not vanish. It changes state. Memories are not stored whole. They are woven from sensations, emotions, and fragments of experience. During the day, they are gathered quickly, layered one upon another. At night, the mind begins to revisit them, not to judge or analyze, but to rearrange. This process is gentle. The brain does not replay the day like a recording. Instead, it selects pieces, a sound, a feeling, a fleeting image, and places them into new contexts. Meaning is adjusted quietly, without your awareness. As sleep deepens, the boundary between memory and imagination grows thin. The brain regions responsible for logic and sequence rest, while those associated with emotion and imagery remain active. This imbalance allows memories to drift freely, untethered from time. You may sense this as the beginning of dreams. They do not arrive all at once. At first, they are subtle, a color without shape, a feeling without a story. The mind is warming up, stretching into a different way of thinking. Dreams are not messages waiting to be decoded. They are the brain's way of integrating experience. During sleep, memories move from temporary storage toward more stable networks. In this movement, they are altered slightly, blended with older knowledge. Emotion plays an important role here. Experiences tied to strong feelings receive more attention. The brain revisits them carefully, reducing their intensity while preserving their meaning. This is why emotional memories can feel different after sleep, less sharp, less urgent. This softening is protective. It allows you to remember without reliving. The brain learns how to carry experience without being overwhelmed by it. Dream imagery often reflects this process. Scenes shift unexpectedly. Familiar places blend with unfamiliar ones. People appear out of context. These combinations are not random. They reflect networks being reorganized, connections being tested. Language is less important now. Words fade. Images and sensations take over. This is efficient. Images can represent complex ideas without requiring structure. The dreaming brain prefers the shorthand. You are not directing this process. Trying to observe it too closely can pull you back toward wakefulness. So the mind learns to let go, allowing dreams to form without supervision. As dreams deepen, awareness narrows further. The outside world fades almost completely. Sensory input is reduced. The brain turns inward, prioritizing its internal landscape. Memory consolidation continues throughout this stage. Important information is reinforced. Irrelevant details are allowed to dissolve. This is not loss. It is refinement. Your identity feels less fixed here. In dreams, you may be an observer, a participant, or something in between. This fluidity reflects the brain's temporary release of rigid self-definition. Roles are unnecessary. Experience flows more freely without them. The chemistry of the brain supports this state. Neurotransmitters shift, altering how neurons communicate. Some pathways quiet. Others become more flexible. This flexibility allows for creative recombination of memory. Dreams may feel emotional even when they make little sense. This is because emotional centers remain active. Feeling persists even when logic sleeps. You may briefly surface between dreams, hovering near awareness. In these moments, images dissolve quickly. The mind decides whether to return inward or drift toward waking. Usually, it chooses to continue. Sleep protects this process. External interruptions can disrupt memory consolidation. But in uninterrupted rest, the brain completes its work efficiently. As the night progresses, dreams change character. Early dreams may reflect the day. Later dreams become more abstract, more distant from waking concerns. This shift reflects different stages of memory processing. Throughout it all, the goal remains the same: integration. The brain is building a coherent internal model of your experiences, smoothing contradictions, strengthening useful patterns. You do not feel this happening. You feel only rest, or perhaps faint impressions. The effort belongs entirely to the brain. This work influences how you will feel tomorrow. Mood, clarity, creativity, all are shaped by how memory is processed during sleep. Dreams are not distractions from rest. They are part of it. As awareness fades even further, dreams may become deeper, less recallable. This is natural. Not all processing needs imagery. Some happens entirely without narrative. Eventually, memory work slows. The brain settles into longer periods of deep sleep, where restoration takes priority. But even then, traces of dreams linger, like echoes in a quiet room. Your past has not disappeared. It has been adjusted, softened, made easier to carry. And as the mind completes this gentle rewriting, awareness begins to widen again, preparing to sense something larger than memory, the vast patterns that connect your resting body to the universe beyond it. You are resting, and yet you are not separate from anything. The quiet inside your body echoes patterns far beyond it. The same rules that guide distant galaxies also move gently through you now, steady and dependable, asking nothing of your attention. The universe is often described as vast and distant, but its laws are intimate. They are present in your breathing, your heartbeat, the warmth beneath your skin. Gravity, energy, rhythm, these are not abstract ideas. They are experiences you are having right now. Your heart beats with a regularity shaped by physics. Electrical signals travel through specialized cells, triggering contraction and release. This cycle repeats, not because it is forced, but because it is stable. Stability is the universe's preference. Stars follow similar rules. They balance inward gravity with outward energy, holding their shape through equilibrium. Your heart does the same, balancing pressure and flow, maintaining form through cooperation rather than effort. You do not need to feel awe to belong. Belonging is already built in. Inside your body, atoms bond and separate according to predictable patterns. These atoms were not invented for you. They existed long before your body formed, created in ancient cosmic processes. They have simply changed arrangements. This is not poetry. It is chemistry. The carbon in your cells was once part of stars. The oxygen you breathe was shaped in stellar interiors. These elements drifted through space, gathered into planets, and eventually into you. Now they rest. The universe does not rush. It unfolds over enormous timescales, patient and precise. Your body mirrors this patience during sleep. Process is slow. Reactions favor balance over speed. Nothing demands immediate resolution. Even your brain follows universal principles. It seeks efficient pathways, minimizes wasted energy, and favors stable patterns. These tendencies reflect the same physical laws that govern matter everywhere. When you sleep, your brain reduces complexity. It simplifies signals, smooths fluctuations. This is not shutdown. It is alignment with a fundamental preference for order. The body is a system within systems. Cells form tissues. Tissues form organs. Organs cooperate to sustain the whole. This layered organization reflects patterns found throughout nature, from ecosystems to galaxies. You are not an exception. You are an expression. As awareness softens, the sense of separation between inside and outside fades slightly. Not because boundaries disappear, but because they matter less. The body does not need to defend itself now. It is safe. Energy continues to flow through you, just as it flows through the universe. It changes form, moves between states, but is never lost. Heat dissipates. Chemical energy transforms. Motion becomes subtle. This continuity is comforting. Nothing ends abruptly. Everything transitions. The night sky, if you were to look at it, would appear still. But it is not. Stars move. Planets orbit. Space expands. Stillness is always relative. Your body's stillness is the same. Beneath it, processes continue at scales too small to feel. Molecules vibrate. Cells communicate. Systems adjust. You are participating in motion by resting. The universe is not watching you. It does not require recognition. Its laws apply equally, impartially. This neutrality is calming. It removes judgment from existence. Sleep is one of the ways the body aligns with this neutrality. When you stop trying to control experience, natural order emerges. Your heartbeat does not need supervision. Neither does your breathing. Neither does the slow repair happening in your tissues. Order arises from structure. The brain, during sleep, becomes less concerned with narrative. It does not ask who you are or what you should do next. Identity loosens. What remains is function. Function does not require meaning. It requires balance. As rest deepens, awareness may feel expansive or distant. This is not the mind leaving the body. It is the mind releasing unnecessary boundaries. You are not dissolving into the universe. You are recognizing that you were never separate from it. The comfort you feel now is not just personal. It reflects a broader stability. The universe supports structures that persist. Your body is one of them. This support does not guarantee permanence. It guarantees continuity through change. Cells are replaced. Energy cycles. Patterns endure. Sleep participates in this endurance. It allows systems to reset, repair, and realign. As the night continues, the sense of being held expands beyond gravity. It becomes a feeling of being situated here, now, in a system that does not require effort to sustain. You may feel small in this vastness, but small does not mean insignificant. It means precise, necessary, exactly shaped for this moment. Your body is a brief arrangement of ancient matter, following timeless rules, resting as it should. There is no urgency in this understanding. It does not ask for reflection. It simply exists. As awareness thins further, the mind prepares to let go even of these gentle connections, drifting beyond thought itself. Soon, there will be no need to notice patterns, laws, or explanations. Understanding will soften into feeling, and feeling into rest. And as the universe continues quietly within you, you begin to drift toward a final surrender, a place where thought releases its hold, and sleep carries everything forward without effort. You are resting, and yet you are not separate from anything. The quiet inside your body echoes patterns far beyond it. The same rules that guide distant galaxies also move gently through you now, steady and dependable, asking nothing of your attention. The universe is often described as vast and distant, but its laws are intimate. They are present in your breathing, your heartbeat, the warmth beneath your skin. Gravity, energy, rhythm, these are not abstract ideas. They are experiences you are having right now. Your heart beats with a regularity shaped by physics. Electrical signals travel through specialized cells, triggering contraction and release. This cycle repeats, not because it is forced, but because it is stable. Stability is the universe's preference. Stars follow similar rules. They balance inward gravity with outward energy, holding their shape through equilibrium. Your heart does the same, balancing pressure and flow, maintaining form through cooperation rather than effort. You do not need to feel awe to belong. Belonging is already built in. Inside your body, atoms bond and separate according to predictable patterns. These atoms were not invented for you. They existed long before your body formed, created in ancient cosmic processes. They have simply changed arrangements. This is not poetry. It is chemistry. The carbon in your cells was once part of stars. The oxygen you breathe was shaped in stellar interiors. These elements drifted through space, gathered into planets, and eventually into you. Now they rest. The universe does not rush. It unfolds over enormous timescales, patient and precise. Your body mirrors this patience during sleep. Process is slow. Reactions favor balance over speed. Nothing demands immediate resolution. Even your brain follows universal principles. It seeks efficient pathways, minimizes wasted energy, and favors stable patterns. These tendencies reflect the same physical laws that govern matter everywhere. When you sleep, your brain reduces complexity. It simplifies signals, smooths fluctuations. This is not shutdown. It is alignment with a fundamental preference for order. The body is a system within systems. Cells form tissues. Tissues form organs. Organs cooperate to sustain the whole. This layered organization reflects patterns found throughout nature, from ecosystems to galaxies. You are not an exception. You are an expression. As awareness softens, the sense of separation between inside and outside fades slightly. Not because boundaries disappear, but because they matter less. The body does not need to defend itself now. It is safe. Energy continues to flow through you, just as it flows through the universe. It changes form, moves between states, but is never lost. Heat dissipates. Chemical energy transforms. Motion becomes subtle. This continuity is comforting. Nothing ends abruptly. Everything transitions. The night sky, if you were to look at it, would appear still. But it is not. Stars move. Planets orbit. Space expands. Stillness is always relative. Your body's stillness is the same. Beneath it, processes continue at scales too small to feel. Molecules vibrate. Cells communicate. Systems adjust. You are participating in motion by resting. The universe is not watching you. It does not require recognition. Its laws apply equally, impartially. This neutrality is calming. It removes judgment from existence. Sleep is one of the ways the body aligns with this neutrality. When you stop trying to control experience, natural order emerges. Your heartbeat does not need supervision. Neither does your breathing. Neither does the slow repair happening in your tissues. Order arises from structure. The brain, during sleep, becomes less concerned with narrative. It does not ask who you are or what you should do next. Identity loosens. What remains is function. Function does not require meaning. It requires balance. As rest deepens, awareness may feel expansive or distant. This is not the mind leaving the body. It is the mind releasing unnecessary boundaries. You are not dissolving into the universe. You are recognizing that you were never separate from it. The comfort you feel now is not just personal. It reflects a broader stability. The universe supports structures that persist. Your body is one of them. This support does not guarantee permanence. It guarantees continuity through change. Cells are replaced. Energy cycles. Patterns endure. Sleep participates in this endurance. It allows systems to reset, repair, and realign. As the night continues, the sense of being held expands beyond gravity. It becomes a feeling of being situated here, now, in a system that does not require effort to sustain. You may feel small in this vastness, but small does not mean insignificant. It means precise, necessary, exactly shaped for this moment. Your body is a brief arrangement of ancient matter, following timeless rules, resting as it should. There is no urgency in this understanding. It does not ask for reflection. It simply exists. As awareness thins further, the mind prepares to let go even of these gentle connections, drifting beyond thought itself. Soon, there will be no need to notice patterns, laws, or explanations. Understanding will soften into feeling, and feeling into rest. And as the universe continues quietly within you, you begin to drift toward a final surrender, a place where thought releases its hold, and sleep carries everything forward without effort. You have traveled through the night's quiet science, guided not by urgency, but by gentle understanding. You have moved through breath, brain waves, time, gravity, stillness, cellular whispers, and dreams. Now you arrive at the place where the journey becomes a letting go. The mind has been learning all night. It has been practicing the art of releasing. It has been shifting priorities, softening memories, and aligning rhythms. The body has been doing the same. The systems inside you have been cooperating, adjusting, restoring. And now, you no longer need to watch. You do not need to follow every thought that appears. They will come and go like passing clouds, and you can let them drift without chasing them. There is no task left for you to complete. The night has already done its work. You are held by understanding, not by effort. The science you have heard is not a list of facts. It is a description of what is already happening. It is reassurance that your body is built for this moment, built for rest, built for regeneration. Consciousness is not a switch that turns off. It is a spectrum. The mind moves along it naturally, shifting from awareness to dreaming, from dreaming to deeper sleep. Each stage is a form of presence. Each stage is part of you. The night does not punish you for thinking. It simply offers you a softer way to think. A slower rhythm. A quieter space. A gentler voice. You may feel the edge of awareness growing faint. You may notice that the world is becoming less distinct, less defined. This is not loss. It is expansion. The mind is releasing boundaries because they are no longer necessary. The body is still here. The breath continues. The heart continues. The cells continue their work even as awareness fades. You do not need to supervise any of it. Your nervous system is built for trust. Trust is a form of knowledge. It is knowledge that you are safe, that your body is capable, that the night is not a threat but a shelter. This knowledge does not require thought. It becomes feeling. Feeling, in turn, becomes rest. You may feel as if you were sinking into something soft, not just the bed beneath you, but the quiet space inside you. This sinking is not collapse. It is surrender. It is the body choosing the most efficient path forward. Surrender is not defeat. It is a recognition of the limits of control. You cannot hold every moment. You cannot manage every thought. You cannot keep your body awake by will alone. The night knows this, and so does your biology. The science of sleep is not a mystery. It is a process. It is a series of gentle shifts that move you from active life to restorative rest. Each stage has its purpose, each transition its timing. Your body is doing what it was designed to do. In the deepest parts of sleep, The mind does not need stories. It does not need meaning. It does not need to solve problems. It simply needs to rest. The brain reduces its activity, allowing healing and balance to proceed without interruption. This is not emptiness. It is fullness without awareness. It is the body continuing its work in a way that is invisible to the waking mind. You are not alone in this. Every living creature experiences sleep. It is a shared biological rhythm, a universal pause that allows life to continue. This fact is quieting. It reminds you that rest is not a personal failure. It is a natural requirement. As you drift, you may sense the boundaries of your identity loosening. You may no longer feel like a separate self watching the world. Instead, you become a part of the world's quiet rhythm, moving with it without effort. This is the final lesson of the night. You are not separate from the processes that sustain you. You are an expression of them. You are part of a system that includes breath, time, gravity, energy, cells, dreams, and the universe itself. The night does not ask you to understand all of it. It only asks you to trust it. And you do. The last thoughts you have are gentle and unhurried. They do not demand answers. They do not require action. They simply acknowledge the comfort of being held. Your body is resting. Your mind is letting go. The world outside continues, but you are safe inside this moment. Soon, even these words will fade. They will dissolve into the quiet rhythm of sleep. The mind will move beyond narrative, beyond explanation, beyond the need to know. And in that final shift, you will discover that rest is not the end of your story, but the beginning of another kind of continuity, carried forward by the simple, steady science of being alive.